Okay, here we are. That's on. That's on. And that is golden. Fantastic. Everything's all in place. So, howdy. It's good to see everybody. It is Monday. It is 8 o'clock. Well, it's 8:03. Forgive me, I'm a couple minutes late today. And if it's Monday at 8 o'clock, it is FC3's Nerd World News. And I'm your host, Megan Rapinoe. What you going to do about it? Bring it. Anyway, Tanya's here, Andy's here, Elizabeth is here, Chrissy is here, Peter is here. Great to see everybody. He's on board. Chrissy, you're a top fan. So are you, Peter. That's fantastic. I love that. I'm not sure what that system is all about, but that's kind of cool. And I'm loving that there's some like really cool folks who are qualifying for it. Before we get on to this week's Nerd World News, we got some information about our upcoming events on July 27th. Oh, and there's an Ange. Hello, Ange. As you know, our mini-con will be at Grease Ridge Center Mall from 10 to 6 on July 27th. It's a Saturday. And our cosplay karaoke night at the 585 Rockin' Burger Bar will begin at 6 p.m. on the 27th. We will have gift baskets you can try to win at the Burger Bar. And wrestler Dalton Castle will be our special guest at the mini-con from 12 to 4. And in addition to the items at the Burger Bar and what our fantastic vendors will have at the mall, we have a very special item that will be available for you to win at the cosplay karaoke night. We have a Game of Thrones script signed by Rose Leslie. Okay, she played Ygritte the Wildling, and it's great because Ygritte and Jon Snow had a thing, and then off camera, Rose Leslie and Kit Harington got married. So there's like this whole big connection thing. So Rose Leslie signed a script from Game of Thrones. We have a copy of it, and we're going to be raffling that off at the 585 Rockin' Burger Bar on July 27th for cosplay karaoke and the band Wicked coming to play until midnight. So we're gonna have a big old friggin' party, and you're gonna be part of it. $5 cover. There's gonna be snacks. There's gonna be raffles. There's gonna be a dessert table. It's gonna be awesome. And I think even Tanya has signed up to sing in the cosplay karaoke. And if people are nice, I might even do it too. Or if you're nice, I won't do it. I don't know. One of those things. John has joined the party. Good to see you, John, man. Let's see. If it wasn't only a week after we move, I could try. I know. I understand completely, Elizabeth. I completely understand. So that's not a joke. It's not a drill. This is a real deal. It's a script from Game of Thrones signed by Rose Leslie. It's going to come with a certificate of authenticity. You'll be part of a Game of Thrones basket that we are putting together. Now that you caught your breath, as I've mentioned, we're going to have 500 tickets available for the script. Each ticket will be $5, and you can purchase $3 tickets for $10. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but there's going to be some raffle tickets to be purchased. You can get it at the 585. I'll have them clarify that. My notes might be a little off, or my reading of the notes might be a little off. Both are possible. And there is the indomitable Anne. Hi, Anne. Now for the gift baskets, tickets are $1 each or $15 for $10. We are 3 tickets for $10. That's where I was. Tickets are $1 each, $15 for $10. This is for the normal baskets. We are working right now to put them together. As we get closer to the day of the event, we will give you a few sneak peeks at what we've pulled together for you as the day approaches. Stay tuned in the coming weeks as we just may have more announcements. I think we got another trick up our sleeve coming up fairly soon. All right, so that's our event schedule. And now on to the news. Tanya's clarifying $5 per ticket, 3 for $10. That's for the Rose Leslie script for Game of Thrones. All the other baskets will be $1 or 15 tickets for $10. Okay, so on to the news. Our top story. Unfortunately, a lot of people are rocked today. We had some sad news, the passing of a young man, Cameron Boyce, who starred in The Descendants and in Grown Ups as Adam Sandler's son. He was 20 years old. A very bright talent, has been snuffed very, very quickly and way too early. As Adam Sandler was quoted as saying on Twitter today, too young, too sweet, too funny, just the nicest, most talented, and most decent kid around. He loved that kid, cared so much about his family, cared so much about the world. Thank you, Cameron, for all you gave us. So much more was on the way. All our hearts are broken, thinking of your amazing family and sending our deepest condolences. We'll be mourning that one for a while. I know that one hit close for home for a lot of the folks in my family as well. And in another passing of a different ilk, Mad Magazine to cease publication in August. Alfred E. Newman is going to become a Force ghost, apparently. Once a cultural point of reference, Mad Magazine is going to be no more. The magazine is halting the publication of new content and vanishing from newsstands. The seminal humor publication will no longer be available on newsstands after its August issue. After the final issue is published, issues will only be available via comic book stores and subscription. This will contain earlier material with new covers. However, the magazine will continue to publish its end-of-the-year special, books, and special collections. The revered satirical publication was founded in 1952 as a comic book. In 1955, it switched to magazine format. Mad is part of DC Comics Group. DC did not have any comment. DC did not have any comment regarding this development. Let me just check up on some news here. Carlos Torres has joined. Good to see you, Carlos. And Lynn Huber is on board. Good to see the both of you. Let's see what else we've got. Peter's asking, do you have to be there to win? Yes. It's going to be the same. Let's see. Do you have to be there to win? It's going to be a game night to buy. I'm not sure where you're going with that comment, Peter. I'm sorry. But yes, you're going to have to be on site to actually win it if you do enter. Let's see. Moving on. Quentin Tarantino promises his Star Trek movie will be R-rated if I do it, he comments. Quentin Tarantino is currently gearing up for the release of his 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's going to be starring Leonardo DiCaprio alongside Brad Pitt, who play two aging Hollywood actors who try to make their way around a changing industry while Charles Manson is on the loose. To give you kind of an idea of the period time frame that's going to be hanging into. But even with directing his 9th film, the Pulp Fiction director has been in talks with Paramount over directing a Star Trek sequel. The 56-year-old Oscar winner has already been busy working on his current film when he pitched the Star Trek idea to Paramount. The company has since assembled a team of writers to work on a screenplay. As for the latest stage of the project, the filmmaker has said, there's a script that exists for now. I need to weigh in on it, but I haven't been able to do that yet. While Gene Roddenberry, creator of the original Star Trek television series, largely eschewed the use of profanity in the sci-fi franchise, Tarantino has only 2 words when asked if his entry in the Star Trek series will include swear words. Oh, yeah, Tarantino confirmed. I'll do it. It'll be R-rated. The last Star Trek film in the sci-fi franchise was 2016's Star Trek Beyond. If this comes to pass, guys, hang on to your butts. This could be interesting. Let's see what we got here. Next on the hit parade of fun, Daisy Ridley teases an emotional, personal, and character Star Wars ending. What's more frightening than impending return of Emperor Palpatine for Star Wars breakout Daisy Ridley? It's the highly anticipated release of The Rise of Skywalker, which is going to be in theaters on December 20th. This will be wrapping her 3-movie arc as the Force-wielding heroine Rey. It feels kind of scary, she's quoted as saying. I've had a secure job for the past few years, but come January, it's going to be like, okay, what now? But even though all questions will hopefully be answered at the end of the upcoming movie, there is still one question that Ridley keeps getting asked, even though it was seemingly answered in The Last Jedi. In a recent interview, Ridley was asked about the obsession with Rey's parents, noting that many fans were disappointed to hear from Kylo that her parents were nobodies in The Last Jedi that was revealed, and wondering if there's more to their story in The Rise of Skywalker. Now, director J.J. Abrams did answer the question. He said the question is answered, so at the end of the film, you do know what the dealio is what Ridley was quoted as saying. All right, moving on from Star Wars to Walking Dead. The Walking Dead fans are shocked as the comic series comes to an end with an unannounced finale. Spoiler alert if you are into reading the actual Walking Dead comic book series. So take a moment, look away, come back in about 2 minutes. Never mind. The Walking Dead comic series has finished this month after 193 issues. The end comes as a huge shock to fans as no warning was given at all until the release of the final issue, which is 72 pages long. The series began with issue number 1 back in October of 2003. Writing in the letter hacks section at the end of issue 193, creator Robert Kirkman acknowledged that closing The Walking Dead unannounced may frustrate some readers, but explained that it was consistent with the storytelling of the series. Excuse me. The Walking Dead has always been built on surprise. Not knowing what's going to happen when you turn the page, who's going to die, how they're going to die, it's been essential to the success of the series, he wrote. It's been the lifeblood that's been keeping it going all of these years, keeping people engaged. It just felt wrong and against the very nature of the series not to make the actual ending as surprising as the big deaths, from Shane all the way up to Rick. Kirkman thanked the fans and added his delight that he managed to tell his own story in his own terms all the way through to the very end. I got to tell my story exactly how I wanted to for 193 issues, and ended on my terms with no interference at all along the way at any point. That's such a rare thing, and it doesn't exist without the unyielding support this series got from readers like you, so thank you so much, Kirkman went on to write. Last month's issue saw the series' biggest ever death as protagonist Rick Grimes was murdered. It is unclear what The Walking Dead's end means for the TV series, which is currently filming its 10th season and is currently in the middle of the Whisperers arc. Kirkman previously confirmed that Rick's death in the comics was not inspired by the TV show. Now, if I may be so bold, I will make the general assessment that I'm going to make a Game of Thrones reference. So figure the Walking Dead comic book and the Walking Dead TV series might diverge a little bit in certain areas, depending on how they want to play it. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, how the books and the TV series didn't quite mesh up, and people are really now very much looking forward to the Game of Thrones books to see how it should end as opposed to how it did end. Anyway, some more Star Trek news coming up. Star Trek boss hints at Jean-Luc Picard's dark choices in the new spin-off show that's coming up. Star Trek Picard is one of the most anticipated new shows of the year. I know I'm looking forward to it personally. Though fans of Jean-Luc Picard should expect his character to go in a different direction. That's according to producer Alex Kurtzman, who has hinted that Patrick Stewart's character may have made some dark choices. It was essential, he told Deadline's Crew Call podcast of the actor's input. We spent a lot of time with Patrick, and you know what? He's incredibly brilliant just as a human and very warm, and obviously he knows Jean-Luc better than just about anybody out there. And you know, he goes on to say, he was really the one from the outset who said, I don't want to do this unless we're breaking new ground. I don't want to just play the character I played. Why come back to that? We did that already. So Kurtzman also teased the storyline we can expect from the Secretive series, explaining, I think we found a story that honors everything that people love about the character, but in ways that are not what you expect, and yet become more and more familiar as the show goes. A lot has happened to Jean-Luc Picard in the intervening years between Next Generation and this series. There's been a lot going on, and he's had to deal with some new things. He's had to deal with some old things, and both of those things come colliding together in this series. He's made choices that he's not necessarily feeling great about, and yet I think the audience will understand exactly why he made them. Star Trek Picard will air on CBS All Access in the US and Amazon Prime Video internationally, including the UK. No premiere date is set yet, but as soon as we hear one, we will share it with you. I'm going to catch up on some comments here. Dan is on board. Peter's saying the cosplay karaoke night might be working is what I meant. Oh, I see. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, you're going to have to be there to win it. Jean is saying, I'm picturing an R-rated version of The Naked Time. I don't want to know how you do that, John. Just there's my favorite little sister. Sybil is with us on the list here. Can't wait for Raylo to be canon. Okay, that's an interesting idea, Elizabeth. Let's see. Tanya is saying, we will clarify to see if you need to be there and would have that answer. Tanya Metris is going to be looking into that. Elizabeth goes on to say, I don't know why people think she's got to be related to someone big in the Star Wars universe. She can be the start of a new legend. Elizabeth, we talked about that in a Star Wars panel at FC3, if I remember, a couple of years ago. There's Batman John. Batman John's on the list, and Chrissy Harding is saying it already diverged with Carl's death. Got it. So we're going back to talking about Walking Dead there. Looking forward to the Picard series. Can't wait for more info to come out about the show at SDCC. Me too. And Sybil is waving, so I'm waving back. Hi, Sybil. All right. New comics this week. From the DC house, Flash number 74, The Flash Year One continues. The Turtle has made his grand entrance, and it's about to bring down the house. As an untested hero with the mastery of his abilities still in its infancy, Barry Allen will face the toughest challenge of his life to defend Central City from the invading forces of those who seek its destruction. Our hero is faced with the fateful choice to either become a superhero or die trying. Catwoman number 13, The Offer. Things have come to a head for Selina Kyle in Villa Hermosa. Between taking care of her sister and contending with all the crooks who cross her path looking to give her some bad luck, it's enough to make a Catwoman go bad herself. So maybe she will. Come now, Selina is still playing the hero. Stop pretending you're something you're not. It's Lex Luthor's words versus Catwoman's will in this chapter of The Offer. And Invisible Woman number 1 of 5 coming from Marvel this Wednesday. Fresh from the pages of the Fantastic Four, for the first time, Susan Storm Richards stars in her own limited series, and the secrets about her past revealed therein will shake readers' perceptions of the Invisible Woman forevermore. Years ago, she undertook an espionage mission for S.H.I.E.L.D., and now it's up to her to save her former partner from death at the hands of international terrorists. Also coming out this Wednesday on New Comic Book Day from Marvel, Avengers number 21, The War is over, and Earth's mightiest heroes are looking to celebrate. That's right, there's a party at Avengers Mountain, but who invited the Squadron Supreme of America? That's going to be an interesting issue, and that will be out at your favorite local comic book shop on Wednesday. Happy birthdays are coming up. Today, happy birthday to the greatest Morticia Addams in recent memory. Just throw no shade at the classic from the 60s, but still, Angelica Houston is having a birthday today. We won't say exactly what age she's turning, but Kevin Bacon, who's in everything, including, I think, the original Star Was Born from the 1940s. He is having a birthday today as well. Tomorrow, let's see. Tickets will be at okay. Tomorrow, Jimmy Smits, Tom Hanks, and Kelly McGillis will have a birthday, and then the day after that, on the 10th, Sofia Vergara will be having a birthday. On the 12th, Brian Glazer, producer of Real Genius and Cowboys and Aliens, partners with Ron Howard and Imagine Entertainment. He's going to be having his birthday. Also on the 12th, comic book artist Phil Jimenez, who worked on Wonder Woman, New X-Men, The Invisibles, Infinite Crisis, and Star Trek. And then on the 13th, the man, the myth, the legend, we were just speaking about him a moment ago, Patrick Stewart. No joke, Picard and his portrayer share the birthday. So it's also Picard's birthday on July 13th. Also, Han Solo himself, Harrison Ford, is going to be turning another year older on the 13th. On this day, July 7th, 1977, The Spy Who Loved Me, the 10th James Bond film starring Roger Moore and Barbara Bach, premiered in London. In 2011, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, the last Harry Potter film, premiered in London on July 7th. On July 8th, in 1982, 15th San Diego Comic-Con International opened at the Hotel San Diego. Also in 2011, on today the 8th, Space Shuttle Atlantis is launched in its final mission of the United States Space Shuttle program. Let's see what else we've got here. July 10th, Time Bandits premiered in the UK in 1981. This feature starred Craig Warnock and Sean Connery. And here's the plot summary. You ready for this? A young boy accidentally joins a band of time-traveling dwarves as they jump from era to era looking for treasure to steal. Yay. And in 1985, on July 10th, Coca-Cola Company announces that it will be resumed selling the old formula of Coke. All right. Moving on. July 13th, 1984, we will be celebrating the anniversary of The Last Starfighter. It'll be a slaughter. That's the spirit. No, our slaughter. Anyway. And in 1985, on July 13th, Live Aid concerts held on both Wembley Stadium in London and John F. Kennedy Stadium in Philadelphia raised over $70 million for African famine relief. Tomorrow, the Patreon blog will fire back up again, and you will get your usual weekly video game news from James Irish. He's also has, let me get the title of the game right, he has a review of Super Mario Maker 2. So there's going to be 2 articles from James on the Patreon blog tomorrow. And on Wednesday, podcast day, me, Tanya, Billy, the Monkey Business crew, we are doing an episode about the summer box office of 2019. Not as successful as people were predicting it would be. What are some of the factors that have led to this? Not big numbers. What's possibly a trend? We hypothesize a few things. We talk about a few things. So that's coming up on Wednesday. Also on Tuesdays, game nights at the 585 Rockin' Burger Bar. So if you get a chance, come on out from 6 to 9 Tuesday nights. We'll be there playing games, board games, dice games, card games, whatever the games may be. One of these days, may even do a little quick Dungeons and Dragons setup. We don't know. We're working that out. So let's see what happens. Jason Hilton has joined the party. Elizabeth Rice is saying that's quite a summary of a show. Yeah, isn't it? And Terry Sinopoli has joined us right at the very bitter end of the... Oh, everybody, give Terry some love. This young woman, this amazing young woman, is getting ready to donate a kidney, and that's a huge thing. That is a huge gift, the gift of life she's going to be giving somebody. So all sorts of good vibes to Terry Sinopoli and her adventure to do that. Tanya, we are celebrating Anne's birthday tomorrow at the 585. Yes, and Chrissy is saying come out and play with us. So game nights are Tuesdays. Mondays are always Nerd World News. Tuesdays are also going to be the days where you see James Irish's video blog. Wednesdays are podcast day. The 27th of July is going to be huge for us. We're going to have a mini-con. We're going to have the cosplay karaoke. We're going to have the band Wicked. We're going to have drawings. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have a script from Game of Thrones signed by Rose Leslie on the 27th. And coming up in August is going to be Super City with our buddy Jason Hilton at Pop Rock Comics Cereal and Culture Bar. They're going to be doing a huge thing downtown. So there's just a lot going on. Stay tuned here. As always, if it's Monday, it's Nerd World News, and we will be catching up with you next week. Be kind, be sweet, throw the good vibes around, and lots of love to everybody around you. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.